Hello everyone, good afternoon to all.
Hi, good
Dear
afternoon,
author,
David.
dear authors and invited guests, welcome to Technical Session 1D. I'm Jay Lalwani, your moderator of all this session. On behalf of Global Knowledge Hub Foundation and Knowledge Chamber of Commerce and Industry, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to the 7th International Conference on ICT for Sustainable Development through Zoom. I hope you will enjoy knowledgeable and interactive sessions throughout the day. Uh, there is a special note for the presenters. You will be given 8 minutes for the presentation and 2 minutes for the question and answer. On 7 minutes, I will leave a gentle reminder. There is another request for presenter that you all stay connected with us till the closing remarks. And if you have any query or update, you can write it to me in the chat box. Just before we get started, uh, I would like to introduce the chair for this session, Dr. Amita Sharma. Amita Sharma is a senior assistant professor in Department of Computer Science and IT, the IIS University. She has more than 13 years of teaching experience, and her area of interest is software engineering, networking and security, data mining, and knowledge discovery, database systems, web services, verdict science, and modern theories. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
So now I will start. I would like to start with the papers. Our first presenter is Gayatri, and her paper title is An Explainable AI-Based Skin Disease Detection. You may start your presentation. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Gayatri Ballari from KLE Technological University, Hubli, Karnataka. So the topic of my presentation is an explainable AI-based skin disease detection. And the second author is Dr. Shantala Gireddy. Let me share my screen first. Okay, the topic is an explainable AI-based skin disease detection. So this is the flow of the presentation. Uh, the introductory part. In the world today, there is a number of skin diseases which are found in humans, animals, and plants. The illness caused by bacteria or infections will be known as skin diseases like yeast infections, allergy, eczema, and brown spot. Let me directly get into an explainable artificial intelligence, where explainable artificial intelligence is a domain in which the techniques are developed and designed to explain the predictions by machine learning or the deep learning systems, where explainable artificial intelligence is a set of processes and methods that allows a human users to comprehend and trust the results and the output created by a machine learning algorithms. The whole calculation process is turned into what commonly referred to as a black box that is impossible to interpret. These black box models are created directly from the data sets. Um, and explainable artificial intelligence is a set of process and methods that allows the human users to understand where the program, the explainable artificial intelligence program aims to create a suite for machine learning techniques that produce more explainable models while maintaining a high level of learning performance or a predictions accuracies, enable human users to understand, approximately trust and effectively manage the entire generation of artificial intelligence partners. But some types of explainable artificial intelligence models are Sharp, Lime, Shapas, Explainer Dashboard, and Deluxe ELI 5. So the in this project we have used GradCam as our explainable artificial intelligence model, where GradCam is a gradient weighted class activation mapping, uses the gradients of any target concept flowing into the final convolutional layer to produce a coarse localization map highlighting the important regions in the image for predicting the concept. Where a GradCam is a strict generalization of the class activation mapping. Unlike CAM, GradCam requires no retraining and is broadly applicable to any CNN based architecture. So these are some papers which I have referred for my project. Okay, the problem statement of the project is to automated detection of skin diseases using deep learning technique and provide an explainability techniques to help us better understand our model's prediction and how we could further improve its performance. So the objectives of the proposed works are to demonstrate the use of machine learning model on color images for the recognition of skin diseases and to assess the role of explainable artificial intelligence based on automated model for detection of skin diseases by color images. So this is the model design where we are giving a data sets to the model which will pre-process the data sets and resize the images where it splits a data set into trained and tested data set which results in evaluation. The ResNet 50 model we have used for classifications where it will do the data and the predictions. An explainer where in explanation, training and validation will be done. The human decisions will be taken from the experts. So XAI attempts to play the role of explainer, explaining the predictions for each data sample. So the implementation of the project is as per this study, we extended our deep learning model by using the explainable artificial intelligence models. Pre-trained ResNet 18 was chosen for comparison with textural extraction approaches. Since it includes 18 levels with a 70-30 split ratio, the data set is divided into training and validation subsets where gradient weighted class activation mapping uses the class specific gradient information flowing into the final convolutional layer of a CNN to produce a coarse localization map of the important regions in the image. The final score is most dependent on the data in these regions where the gradient is the greatest. The significance map is calculated in a GradCam by taking the derivative of the output of reduction layer that corresponds to a convolutional feature map for a specific class. And GradCam selects the appropriate layers for the computational of significance maps of classification tasks automatically. We may alternatively specify the layers using the name value parameters, reduction layer, and a features layer. So this is the result. These are the results of our classification model, which is ResNet 18. This is the training and the validation accuracy, and this is for graph for training versus validation loss. So this is the GradCam result where we have this first image is the healthy image of a skin image. This is the combination of layer 2, layer 3 and layer 4 image. This one is the diseased image and this is the combination of 3 layers. So this is the second diseased image and this is the result of it. So let's see the conclusion. The ResNet 18 model, which is based on a deep learning, produced a result of 96%. A GradCam's output is a list of explanations that reflects the component of the image that contributes to the data sample prediction. To fill the gap in interpretability for CAM visualization methods, a clear mathematical explanation is offered. When compared to GradCam, experimental results reveals that our GradCam improves in terms of sensitivity and conservation, as well as dramatically improving visualization performance. Where GradCam determines the most essential input characteristics for classification by analyzing the gradient of the classification score in relation to the final convolutional feature map. So these are the references for which I have referred for project.
Ma'am, you have any question?
Yes.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
There are two questions. One is the model you specify that ResNet 50 you have. Is my voice audible?
Yes, madam.
So, Gayatri, I just want to ask, in the model you presented that you have used ResNet 50 and in later observations you mentioned ResNet 18.
Sorry, ma'am, that was a mistake. Actually, I have used both the models for Sharp implementation and GradCam implementation, where our Sharp was not able to give the result we expected for that. So we have used a ResNet 18 model. So
And
that
what
was a
about
little
the
confused.
number of images you use for training?
Sorry?
How many images you have used for training?
The total number of images were 2,700, ma'am.
And
Uh,
what were
la-
the categories?
Melanoma.
These.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 second, ma'am, I'll tell you. Those are like melanomas and 1 second. Benign, it's benign and
You just tell me the number of classes, 2, 1, 5, like this.
two, ma'am, two.
2 classes. Okay.
Yes.
So these were the balance set you have used.
Yes, balanced set I have used.
Now, no more questions from my side. You can take second or. Okay.
Thank you, Gayatri,
Thank you,
for your
ma'am.
presentation.
Yeah, thank
Uh,
you.
our next author is S.D. Madhuri, and her paper title is Design of Water Quality Monitoring System Using IoT. You may start. Thank you.
Our topic is design of water quality monitoring system. IoT. Actually, we came to this problem by reading the news article that India has 9 out of 10 most populated cities. The pollution may be in air, water, or noise. And in this, we have taken about water pollution problem and we have designed a system to monitor the quality continuously. Actually, in the system, the man have to take the samples and go to laboratory and then test the sample whether the chemicals or other airborne component are here by using this system we can continuously monitor the quality and for this means we have used the IoT. What's an IoT? Internet of Things. It's nothing but any physical device which shares its data to the external environment through an internet is called as IoT. Here, this pollution controlling automatic system. Here we have the environmental parameters like air, water, or soil. In this, we have taken the water and we have put some sensors into this water like temperature, temperature sensors, TDS sensors, temperature CDS, TDS stability, and we have sent the values to our Arduino board or a microcontroller at which the processing will be done. And from that microcontroller, we have updated those sensor values into the into a cloud, and through which we can see the app, even the data using any mobile application. The components we have used, those are pH sensor, turbidity sensor, temperature sensor, and TDS sensor, along with our microcontroller bodies, and we have used Wi-Fi module this data into the cloud. So here, this is the block diagram of our in water, we have kept all these sensors and continuously we have sensed the values, and that sensor values will be given to Arduino Uno board, and it will process the data and will send to, and we can see those data through PC, or we can send those data in cloud using Wi-Fi model. And here, when coming to pH sensor, all of you already know pH is not, here ranges from 0 to 14. 7 is the neutral and 0 to 6 is called as acid and 8 to 14 is called as base. So here by using this pH sensor, we have measured the pH of that water, and we have used the turbidity sensors also to know the total suspended salt in the water. Actually, in the water, it should be 1 it temperature sensor, it will sense the temperature and and we use this Arduino board to connect those sensors, and we have used this node MCU to send those values into the mobile app through ThinkSpeak cloud. And here, this is our setup. In this bowl, we have added water and we have put all our sensors and read the values. And to test our system, we have squeezed lemon into that bowl and read the values. And we have added some mud into the bowl and read turbidity values. And this is the variation of 3000. And to test TDS values, we have added some salt to our water. It is our drinking water values, and this is the salt water. And then we have tested the temperature. And in this way, we have tested our system. We have seen that values through a serial monitor present in our PC in Arduino software, and these are the values we got. And we have updated these values into the cloud, and then the cloud is this. Here we can observe the graphs of variation of pH while we are adding some lemon juice, and these are variation of turbidity when we add some salt particles. Sand particles. And this is the temperature we use in it. And, we have added some salts and read the TDS values. So when coming to the conclusion, when we use this system in water in industrial area at several places, so that if you compare the values from different regions, so that we can easily know, or we can easily detect where the pollutants are adding into the stream. And these are the references we have.
Have any question?
Yes, just one question. Will it be able to detect the particular chemical as well, like fluoride or chloride?
If we add those sensors, we can just but only use it here. So
Okay.
by this system, we can only detect those levels.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. Now I'd like to start call the author and Shakti Velu, and his paper title is An Approach on Cyber Threat Intelligence Using Recurrent Neural Network. And you can start. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Is my screen is visible?
Yes, you can start.
Yes, good afternoon to everyone. And myself, U. Shakti Velu, research scholar from SRM Institute of Science and Technology. And my research supervisor name is Dr. CNS Vinod Kumar, sir. And my title is An Approach on Cyber Threat Intelligence Using Recurrent Neural Network. And these are my contents. Let me start with my abstract. In this advanced world, the internet is the main mode we are using to store or share our data. This makes the criminals to propose cyber attacks to steal our data. To prevent cyber attacks, cyber threat intelligence is more utilized in the world of cybersecurity. Cyber threat intelligence is an evidence-based knowledge that have been collected, processed, and analyzed to understand about the existing threats that happened already. The cyber threat intelligence helps cybersecurity to detect and prevent cyber attacks with the help of numerous tools and techniques. Main and very stealthy attack we are facing nowadays is APT, Advanced Persistent Threat. It is an attack campaign. This stealthy attack makes use of various tools and techniques to gain access to an network and steal high valuable data without the knowledge of the institution or an association. This motivates us to propose a new cyber threat intelligence model that efficiently prevent and detect APT attacks. And problem identification. On account of solid accentuation of data security in various fields, such as military organizations or other some grounded associations, might be like some government officers, like etc. This importance, this makes us the importance of cyber security to turn high and more on. In recent years, online services with the help of internet had a boom, high to high. Organizations along using web platforms such as cloud storage and Google Drive, and they are using some social medias to store their data. And the user profiles also stored in such platforms to store their data. This hinders the hackers to make cyber attacks to steal our personal data. The attacker doesn't know the organization which is going to get hacked, or the most weak security organization is the preferable one for the attackers to hack. This attack has its unique process, such as slow process and low development in its target. It is called an APT attacks, advanced persistent threats. The objective of my research is main objective of an APT is main objective of an APT is not to accumulate the objectives information only. The main objective is information only. The APT attack will accumulate everything about the institution, such as what they are making, what's happening in the institution, and what apparatus is they doing. Whatever is whatever the data is in the institution, it will be all data will be accumulated by the APT attackers. This is an unique process of an APT attack. For this institution, for this type of attack, they are using institution prevention system and intrusion detection system to utilize the information from the institution. The principal objective of this study is to concentrate on different procedures and arrangements to recognize APT. And these are some related papers I have used for my research work. And this is the architecture diagram that this shows that how the sample data has been transferred, and the data analyze will helps us to split the data from to test and also to train the model. And after the trained model, the APT malware will run through the classification models. We have used more than three. We have used three classification models, and it will definitely and it will find out what kind of APT family it belongs to, the attack belongs to. And this is a model diagram. It describes the pre-processing of the data set. We have used NSL KDD data sets to train our model and to test with the k-fold cross-validation model. We will portioning the data sets, and it will classify the three classification models have been used: decision tree model, Bayesian and network deep learning models. With the help of RNN network, it will find out the attacked. Actually, what kind of attack is this? Whether the institution is attacked or not. If there is any APT attack, it will find out what kind of attack is this. And my proposed work. This proposed work advised an entry-level security prediction and analyzing system in both the network and main system. The effects of three models are broken down in this section. Main model is to find the APT attack that belongs to which family. That is, the attack belongs to which family. We used NSL-KDD data sets. 6-layer deep learning model performs better values while comparing to C5.5, C5.0 decision tree and Bayesian organization models. This proposed model has the best outcome. In this work, we have used a 10-cross approval technique to group data set in each overlay. And with those given, because I have related some papers, from those papers I have taken some values, and this gives the best accuracy with the help of deep learning and the C5.0 decision tree and Bayesian algorithm. I have drawn this. From this, we can able to see the accuracy and the true positive rate and true negative rate, positive prediction value, F measure, and the FPR and FNR with the help of this classification models. The accuracy, FNR, and FPR values for the three classification models with the help of NSL KDD it has been separated and given for your reference. And scope and conclusion. The attacks that are stealthy, persistent, and complex are discussed, and it is referred as APT. And we have discussed about how to detect it and how to prevent it. Using different phases to break up into a network, an APT, the main feature of an APT attack is it go unnoticed to the institution where it is going to attack, and it will continue there for very long period. How long it will take to extract all the information from the institution. The classifiers we are using SVM and MLP have the best performance. There is a benefit of utilizing SVM and PCA together to speed up the estimation interaction. With the help of NSLKDD, we presented how an APT attack is performed, different solutions at each stage of an APT attack. It will help to detect and mitigate the attack. And these are the papers I have been taken for references, and it's done. Thank you, sir. Sir?
Ma'am, you have question?
Yes, only two questions. Why haven't you used random forest instead of decision tree? Is there any specific reason?
No, ma'am. I'm just new for this research, ma'am. I have joined only 5 months before. I'm going
Okay,
to I am going through in one by one, ma'am. It is my
okay,
starting
okay,
stage, so I have utilized that, ma'am.
okay. Fine. You can also use ensembler model so that you can get the best results. And what about the
Oh,
execution time? How much time it is taking for identifying or recognizing a threat?
ma'am, that's it's an survey paper, ma'am. I'm going to implement soon, ma'am.
Okay, okay, fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. One next presenter is Prasad Bingadde, and his paper title Detecting Soil Fertility for Agricultural Land using IoT and Prediction of Crops using Machine Learning Algorithm.
Okay, is my voice is loud and clear?
Yes, you can start.
Okay. Just a minute. Is my presentation visible?
Yes, you can start.
My today's topic for the presentation is detecting the soil fertility for the agriculture land using IoT and prediction of the crop using machine learning algorithm. There is one author with me, which is my research guide. Her name is Dr. Uma Pujari, and this is the agenda of the presentation. The talking about the abstract of my research paper is nowadays the population of the world is increasing day by day. So farmer can there is a problem to take large production in the small area. So farmer nowadays are working on the IoT in the field of agriculture. Farmers can check the fertility of the soil using the IoT. For this system, we are develop one prototype. With this prototype, we also develop one Android application from using which the result of that soil detection can be visible on the mobile device of the farmer, which could be used to increase the crop yield profitability as per the nutrition level of the crop. This is the introduction. Nowadays, it is very useful to carry crop-wise recommendation of the nutrition and fertilizer for the individual farmer. The traditional method is very time-consuming, and as it takes a large time to complete the process, the farmer can now access the fertility of the soil on their mobile application. And with the intelligent method, it is also possible to predict the suitable crop for their respective crop for better crop yield. The problem statement of my research work is design and develop a system to detect the soil fertility of the agriculture land using IoT and crop prediction using machine learning algorithm. Talking about the objectives of my research work is to develop the system for detecting the soil fertility in the agriculture land using IoT, and second one is to predict the suitable crop using machine learning algorithm from the given data. The third one is to develop a mobile application which would use to give the result to the end user on their own mobile device. Talking about the scope, my research is Nowadays we can easily develop soil fertility device using IoT. We can take consideration of various factors like pH, soil moisture, temperature, and some other factors. This data can be easily processed on a various cloud model and can be accessed by end user device. This system can be used on a commercial used as commercial idea at the larger scale. And these are the some papers which I have taken a reference for my research work. Talking about the research gap about the previous papers are they have developed the same system, but it is only detecting the fertility, but not talking about the prediction of the crop. So I have merged the both the approaches. Different authors have used a different mechanism to find the soil fertility based on the end user requirement, but the more research has to be required in this area to deploy the system which can be predict the suitable crop for the end user, and it might be useful for farmers to get the more profit from the desired crops. And this is the proposed architecture of my system, where I use Arduino Mega for deploying the sensors. The data from the Arduino is sent to Raspberry Pi, and from Raspberry Pi it goes to ThinkSpeak Cloud, and from this ThinkSpeak Cloud we can easily access this data on our end user Android device. This is the hardware implementation. In this implementation I have used various sensors like this is DST11 on the upper left, which can be used to detect the moisture and temperature of the soil. And talking about the upper right is the FC28. It is moisture sensor. It is used to calculate the moisture of the soil content. The bottom left is a pH sensor. It is used to calculate the pH of the soil. And the bottom talking about the bottom right is it is the soil NPK sensor. Means it is used to calculate the main nutrient of the soil, that is the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And this is the software implementation in which I have developed app. These are the various pages which are present in the app, like register page, login page. And talking about the server, I have used Python Flash server at the deployment level to calculate to deploy the system. And this is the page for reading the data from the sensor. And in my research I use initially the prediction of the crop using SVM, and the side one code is for NPK sensor, and this is for prediction page. In this page the user needs to be enter the data manually. After after entering the data, here is the one button called submit. In the background of the submit button I have used SVM algorithm for prediction. Once we click on that button, the data get processed and the user get the result. This is the dashboard page of my system. Here the latest entry is visible in the upper part, and the bottom, the table which is present at the bottom would give the latest 20 entries present in the database. This is the methodology. First of all, we are connecting the Raspberry Pi and Arduino. After that, we do login on the Raspberry Pi. We are interfacing the various sensor on the Arduino and sending those data to the Raspberry Pi as per the requirement. And after that, we run the system, and the end user the result get calculated on the system. And after that, I have also used two additional algorithm, which is a naive Bayes algorithm. The result of the prediction using naive Bayes is presented in this slide, and this one is for random forest algorithm. This is the result for the random forest algorithm. And this system can be used in various applications like precision farming. Nowadays some of us might know about the um, uh, uh, talking about the transfer of the fertilizers via drones. It can be taken as application using IoT. And the bottom left is precision farming. Here it is talking about the calculating the nutrients of the soil and getting the result on the mobile device. And bottom right is talking about the computer imaging. Means using IoT we can find out the diseases of the crop using the IoT system. This is the conclusion. As per the prediction of the Fertilizer Association of Organization, in 2015 the population of the world is getting increased by day, so we might require 70% more food in the same land. So we need to increase our agriculture production efficiently. As a result, in that case, IoT can be play major role. The farmer nowadays practice smart farming using IoT. This system can be used to predict the probability of for their crops as per nutrition level. To summarize, the IoT application enable farmer to gather relevant information, and that can be used to increase the probability of the crop. Talking about the future scope, IoT has a various large scope in the future. Talking about the measuring of the soil nutrients to automate the watering system. Smart farming can be used in predictive analytics. The crop prediction can be used in larger scope in the future. The artificial network can be used in the same area to estimate the crop output rate using data obtained from the farm sensor. Those are the references. Thank you so much. Hello.
Ma'am, any question?
Yes. How did you collect these samples for generating the data and doing the prediction?
Actually, I have taken one reference data set.
Okay, you have taken secondary data set.
Okay, for reference purpose. And I
And
have
what about the IoT part?
uh, I have done soil sampling of from various soil like black soil and red soil.
How many type of soil you have done this test?
And approx 3 to 4 soil, ma'am.
Yeah. You set certain criteria or just you randomly chose the soil?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Have you set some criteria for selecting a particular type of soil, or you have randomly
No, ma'am,
chosen?
randomly chosen the soil. Means I want to calculate the how soil parameter can be varied from different types of the soil.
I am just one suggestion. Just try to set the criteria of soil and then do the same experiment. You'll get much more good results.
Okay, ma'am, I will work on it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you for the presentation. Our next presenter is Devanshi Joshi, and his paper title is an AI-based scientific approach to analyze and predict attrition in organization. I think he's absent. So move on to next presentation. C.S. Patil, and his paper title is Stock Market Prediction Using Recurrent Neural Network and Long Short-Term Memory.
Am I audible?
Yes, you can start.
My screen is visible, right?
Yes, you can start.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, our paper title is Stock Market Prediction Using RNN and Long Short-Term Memory. So, here is the abstract of the paper. The aim of this paper is to make the trader's life easy with all kinds of sector data analysis and bring the forecast with the deep learning model. So, we have applied a deep learning model here, that is RNN. Model completely based on long short-term memory and recurrent neural network. And this paper is going to make attention on the analysis and prediction of stock values that do not take care of party political tenures and financial tensions which disturbs the stock market. The model will assist the stockholder, that is the beginner, which a distinct user or the general public to make a protected investment in the stock. So the data what we have collected, data collection, that we have acquired data from NSE official website using robot processing automation approach. So the script in the Python language which is going to be most, and we have used Selenium to accomplish this task, and which automates the whole process. So we have downloaded and merged the last 20 years of NSE data containing Nifty 50 and all. The data is day-wise containing high, low, open, close, volume, and adjusted close. So we have taken open as a forecasting attribute so that the user could be ready before the market opens. The proposed model what we are having here in this research paper is workflow for proposed model. First, we need to log in into the system. After that, the user can able to see his or her personal control panel. After that, the user will be asked to have his favorites regarding the investment in which he or she desiring to make or choose the company. So on choosing the company from the recommended list, the user will be shown with the forecast regarding the organization's returns which are expected. So you can see the proposed workflow model of that. The LSTM training and evaluation what we have built here, predictive model which have used RNN and LSTM in the time aspect plays a huge role in the assumption of stock values. We have used LSTM, that's why, right? So they are alike to small neural networks which are thoughtful for memory in a superior neural network that will be talented through the use of a episode node inside the LSTM cell. So the design model will grasp on each and every piece or bit of the information from the past state, the assumed future state, and historical information. So since the repetition network's weight is one here, the historic memories wouldn't listen over the time similar to the traditional RNNs. So LSTM has three gates which are update gate, forget gate, and output gate. The first gate, second gate promises that each factor in the memory is updated, and the output gate rules the quantity of data which is output as beginning to the next level. LSTM processes a sequence of vectors of time in input data in the series. So L1, L2 till LT. L is a vector value which is predicted by a neural network construction. So in this model set, so future model in the different compression of two layers of LSTM components. First is to not the dropout layer in between to avoid the overfitting. The resultant discussions what we have taken is out of the existing data sets we have chosen as ABB limited as one company, and which has 6,000 records with the clean data, and depending on that we have generated the different charts to uh, uh, predict the results. So the conclusion of this is the model will help traders to begin with by looking at various graphs to identify the companies they want to invest in. Since the model is for the beginners here purposes and not for advanced traders, but it will help them to understand core of any symbol. So the data of various companies here, approximately 65,000 records, which are day-wise contain high row, open close, and volume adjusted close. We have taken open as forecasting here as attribute so that users could be ready before the market opens with 6,000 records of ABB. And the further enhancement we can try to add sentiments of the traders and company. So these features may increase the model accuracy, and currently we have achieved 78% accuracy for this ABB limited. Thank you.
Ma'am, any questions?
Uh, Again, why LSTM and both these networks were selected? Any specific reason?
As the previous researchers have reported that RNN and LSTM will give a specific output that is which is more accurate output. So that's why we have taken this one. But in the future, one we can compare machine learning and deep learning and the features what we are going to see.
And one more suggestion, you can also use optimization technique to optimize these networks as per your problem.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To move on to next presentation. Prashant Vats, and his paper title is Comprehensive Approach for Recognizing the Ocular Impression Using Machine Learning Based Scenario in LBP Planar Interpolation. I think he is also absent. Moving on next presenter. Also Prashant Vats. All presentations are completed. I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentation and all authors for being a part of the internship, this internship conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We on behalf of whole team, thank you so much for the support for this version and previous 6 version of this conference. And we'll be happy to have you in the 8th version in 2023. All the presenters would be getting the digital certificate through email within 2 working days. And further, all the papers are already forwarded to the spinner. The publication will be live within 5 to 6 months. Kindly cooperate with the team ICT4SD 2022. And I also thank our session chair. And there is a token of appreciation on behalf of Global Knowledge Foundation and team ICT4SD 2022. Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable time.
Thank you so much, sir, for inviting me for such a wonderful session, and all the best for all the researchers as they are doing wonderful work, and also your team that they have conducted such a knowledgeable sessions so that new researchers can participate and contribute their knowledge in such sessions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I request all the participants to turn on their camera for the quick snapshot for the virtual conference. Please turn on cameras. Thank you so much, all. Take care. Thank you, ma'am. Once again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.